Howdy, everybody. My name is Dean Serwin. I am the current chair of the Beverly Hills Bar's Law Practice Management section. I love doing these introductions because I get to share with you some exciting news about the BHBA. First of all, real quick, you'll see in the chat that they're posting the materials for this exciting webinar, as well as some information about what I'm going to talk about right now, which is our award-winning CLE library, BHBA On Demand. It's fantastic. It's basically YouTube for CLE. If you're like me and you've been practicing for a while, you remember when you get all those solicitations from people of get all your 25 hours in one batch of, yes, videotapes. That's how far back we go. Videotapes and cassettes, then DVDs and CDs, and then online. And they were boring, old, out of date, dull programs. What BHBA has is we're doing typically at least one a day. If there's a new important case or decision that comes down, we've usually got a CLE program up and running about it within a week or two, sometimes even less. And they're all in the on-demand locker. You can go and look for them. They're organized by those hard to get specialty items that we all need an hour here and an hour there of, and you get participation credit for them. This program itself will be posted there 1 to 3 days. We've got so many going on now, including live ones again, that it can take a minute. You'll get a notice about it. You can rewatch it. You can tell your friends about it. The counter is clicking up. We had 1,200 people signed up for today. So many of them will watch that again on the or for the first time once they get that email notice that it's up. This is a webinar. The chat is disabled. Only the BHBA and the speaker can use the chat. There is a Q&A, and if you place your questions in there, they'll either be answered along the way or at the end. With that, I'm going to introduce our speaker today. Danny Abir is the managing partner of Axe Law, one of California's largest plaintiff-only litigation firms, which he co-founded back in 2016. Under his leadership, the firm has grown to over 100 attorneys and staff and secured more than $1 billion in client recoveries, all while fostering a culture dedicated to justice and client service. A frequent speaker and published author, frequent speaker and published author, Danny also serves on the boards of multiple professional organizations, including the Consumer Attorneys of California and the Consumer Attorneys Association of Los Angeles, where he is slated to serve as president in 2028. Very impressive. We're glad to have Danny here with us today. With that, I'm going to turn things over to him for this presentation. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Dean, for the introduction. Good morning, everybody. I usually start presentations on asking questions, especially when it comes to AI, as to how many, show of hands, how many people actually currently use AI in their practices and so forth. But given that this is a webinar, I'm going to change things a little bit. Can we have the next slide, please? So I put my information here. Oh, back. Thank you. I put my information here on purpose on the first page because a lot of times when I'm zooming through presentations, we don't get to the last page. In case you need the material or you have any questions, you can always reach out to me using the code over here or email, or that's my cell phone number. You're welcome to reach out to me if you have any questions. Next slide, please. So I put this here on purpose for one reason and one reason only. I gave a presentation on AI a little more than 12 months ago. That was the Flintstones compared to the Jetsons, where we are today. This is how fast and how the speed by which the technology is changing and AI is changing. What you have today is going to be dwarfed by what you're going to see in 6 months and a year from now. It's exponential. So my suggestion, before we get into this, is you have to hop on, and judging from the number of people who are interested in watching this presentation and this webinar, that shows that how many people are actually on board with learning about AI and trying to use technology to make their practices more efficient. One thing I will say ahead of the next slide is that our practice is primarily or exclusively a plaintiff practice. We do not do family law or any other type of law. So a lot of the tools and the softwares that I'm going to talk about, they're primarily for litigation purposes, but some of it actually applies to other things as well. So I mentioned that we've gone from the Flintstones to the Jetsons in a matter of a year. Just to give you an idea, a little more than 12 months ago, ChatGPT was on ChatGPT 4.0. It's already at ChatGPT 5. Pod has gone from 3.5 to 4.1 and so forth. The speed is significantly faster. The reasoning is much stronger. It's a lot more accurate. It's doing a lot less creating its own basic reality, and it can take in a lot more information than it did about a year ago. Next slide, please. So people ask, why is it that we need to focus more with AI, and why does AI matter? A lot of attorneys know that the job market for hiring has changed quite a bit since COVID. There is a scarcity in terms of finding good talent, whether it's paralegals, legal secretaries, or attorneys. What AI can do can help get you more efficient with regards to the work that you're doing, so that with the same great staff that you have right now, you'll be able to do more basically with it. Clients will get better and faster results. If you're having an hourly practice, imagine how much faster you're going to be able to do things. And as far as contingency practice are concerned, it's also going to cut into the hours, and it is going to help you become a lot more efficient. So it makes you more profitable, basically. Next slide, please. So today's reality, you have social media, you have a lot of information on the internet. So whenever you have any kind of a case, this applies not just to litigation, but regular civil litigation, even if it's family law or anything else for that matter. There's a lot more information that you have to factor in when you're looking at a case and the documents that you need. Also, the courts, especially in California, are significantly clogged, and they are very tight with trial dates and so forth. You end up getting dragged, cases get dragged. So what this helps is that it is going to help you with regards to being able to keep up with those pressures. As far as, and also going back to what we were talking about as far as finding employees, finding staff, and being able to handle your work, which things changed after COVID, having Zoom depositions, remote employees, and so forth. Having AI and better technology is going to help you be able to utilize those employees a lot more. Next slide, please. So currently, and this applies to not just litigation, this also applies to transactional work, it applies to bankruptcy, it applies to family law. Approximately 80% of what attorneys do, there is some sort of technology to help. Doesn't mean that 80% of your work can be done with technology, but out of 10 things that you do as an attorney, 8 of them, you will be able to find some sort of a tool that's going to be able to help you become more efficient. Now, that one tool may make you 50% efficient in one specific thing that you're doing, and 70% in something else, 20% in another. But at the end of the day, it is there to make you much more efficient and be able to do a lot more with your day, and given the staff and the capacity constraints that you may have. Next slide, please. So one of the issues that AI had initially, and I'm sure a lot of folks on this webinar know about it, was that it was fabricating facts and fabricating information. ChatGPT has had that, has done that significantly with regards to hallucinating cases that don't really exist and giving you law that doesn't exist. So one of the issues that you're finding, and you will find with basically AI, is that the solution to that is that you have to review everything. This is not a one size fits all. This is not something that you're going to put it into ChatGPT or any other software and you're going to say, okay, my work is done. I don't need to be functioning as an attorney for this. Everything that you hand to the court, you have to actually review. Basically, the other part of it is privilege issues when it comes to litigation as well. Remember that what you put on the World Wide Web with regards to ChatGPT is, unless you take measures to protect yourself, you are going to have issues with regards to privilege. Also, again, some AI outputs tend to be robotic. The answer is not as emotional. So you have to make sure that you're still using your language. There's still going to be a human part to this when you're looking at what AI is going to produce for you. It's basic AI is trained on old verdicts, and it can undervalue claims. It can marginalize your client or the information you're going to give it. So you have to make sure that you don't have any inaccuracies. A two-layer approach, having basically a couple of reviews of it, is going to be very, very important. Next slide, please. So this, unfortunately, is something that I know we actually had one comment about. This is geared more towards litigators, and I'm a transactional lawyer. The gentleman mentioned, or the lady mentioned. So I'm trying to make sure that I give you as much information as I have that is non-litigation driven as well. But for example, this gives you the breakdown of how much of your work in each level of litigation can be done through some sort of AI technology. So for example, when you're assessing whether or not you would like to, I just noticed that, I'm so sorry. When one of the things that you have to look at, it says early case assessment. About 35% of the work that you do when you're trying to determine whether you want to take a case or not, this is something that can be done through AI. When you're drafting pleadings, about 45% of that work can be done with AI. And the dollar figures you see next to it is how much that's going to save you in order to get that done with AI, how much more efficient you become. There are tools out there that you can use for discovery, whether it's written discovery, e-discovery, that can make things a lot more efficient. We will get to each one of the tools that you can use in the different areas or different parts of your practice or different parts of a litigation. But this is just to give you an idea of what percentage of each section, each part of work that can be done with used with AI. So next slide, please. So let's shift the focus from why to how. Having the right tool, how are you going to check things? How is it going to impact you? This is something that I get a lot of questions like this, saying, what do you think I should use? What tools do you like? What tools do you use for your firm? Each firm is different. Each practice is different. You know what you can use technology for. You know your staff and your attorneys better. You know your own propensities and how you are better, and where you can actually add efficiency. So there isn't necessarily a specific answer to say, okay, what tools should I use, unless I'm aware or you have a better understanding of your practice and what it is that your practice needs, or how it can become more efficient using AI. Next slide, please. So in order to basically introduce AI into your practice, there are a few things you need to make sure that you keep track of. You have to pick tasks where time saves translates directly into some sort of a margin. So you're going to know what or how efficient that technology is going to do for you. It's going to get you, is to see whether that tool is going to be good for you. Also, look and see with regards to your firm, and basically it's we'll say sequence quick win pilots before culture shift changes. Attorneys tend to be, not just attorneys, but the legal industry tends to be very rigid. We are not good at changing and adapting to technology. So one of the things I would recommend is, before you go up for a full flow change with your practice, have little pilots to make sure that your staff, your employees, and you yourself are getting used to using technology in order to adapt to it and use it. Technology is only as good as if you use it. So it's kind of like a gym membership that you have and you don't use, or it used to be different memberships that we used to have, where maybe you have a Disney membership that you got, Disney Channel membership, and now your kids are grown up and you don't use it anymore, but it's just, you're just paying for it. So it's basically like that. So you have to make sure there's technology that you're going to use and it's actually going to be helpful for you. Some of these technologies tend to be pretty expensive, so that makes it that much more important to make sure that you're using something that's going to be helpful for you. Also, with regards to government overlay, you have to make sure that you adhere to, basically, you have to certify that if you're using AI, there's going to be human interaction. You're going to review things, and you're going to make sure that what you're going to give to the courtroom, to the judge or the court, or whatever product you're going to have, is not just purely use AI to produce. Next slide, please. So this goes back to the verification. There are two pillars for basically successful AI implementation. One is to make sure that all of your AI output is human verified for accuracy. So you have to make sure that there are no hallucinations, and basically everything is in compliance with the court rules for certification. Also, again, going back, you want to make sure that you have a way to track how much time you're saving and what is that going to do for you. So, for example, there are tools such as Esquire Tech that you can use for discovery. It basically saves approximately 60 human hours, and it can tell you how much you're going to be able to save by using Esquire Tech, or even up shows how much, what percentage you're going to use. Basically, by use, it's going to make you more efficient. They have their own dashboard monthly that shows you how much time you've saved, so there's no guesswork with regards to it. But generally speaking, you're doing this in order to basically make yourself more efficient and more profitable. So because of that, you have to keep track of how much time it's going to save you, basically, by using that technology. Next one, please. So now we're going to get to the different tools that you can use in your practice. I promise that some of the slides are going to be helpful regardless of the type of practice you have. And here are some tools that you can use in order to do marketing using AI. This one is one that you may want to take a picture of or definitely print out. There are different types of tools that you can use, like, for example, creating viral Facebook posts. Yeah, there's a tool for that. Or generating AI art, or basically, there are tools for ranking higher on Google, creating AI video generated basically presentations. Also, Slide GPT. I didn't use Slide GPT for this presentation, but it's something that you can use. AI webinar hosting, and all these different tools that you have mentioned here. It's something that I would highly recommend checking it out on your own time, seeing if it's something that works for you. And again, marketing is something that any firm has to do, whether or not you are a plaintiff lawyer, defense lawyer, family law lawyer, a transactional lawyer. No matter what you're doing, you're going to need to do marketing in order to get business. And these are the different tools currently on the market that you can use to be able to create some sort of marketing buzz for yourself. Next slide, please. So assume that you do marketing and now you're going to have people calling. Okay. Let's say your marketing was so successful and so good that you now have a lot of callers coming in. What do? There are different tools that you can use in order to convert that. Smith AI is a company that we actually use for our firm. At some point, we had something close to 2,500 new callers and another 2,500 old callers or current clients and so forth calling the firm. There is no reception that I could think of for our firm in order to be able to handle all of that. So we went to Smith AI, which is a combination of both AI as well as human interaction to make sure calls are not missed. So that is one of the things that you can do. Intake is another one that can help convert basically a file review into 30 to 60-minute brief, but with citations telling you exactly what they are. What is it that can be downloaded? They are the accompanying slides that you see. I can send you. I'd be happy to send you a copy of the presentation, or I believe that Beverly Hills Bar Association can also send you a copy of it. So you get the case and you're now ready to basically manage the case. Let's move to the next slide, please. There are different types, there are different tools out there with regards to case management. This is basically something that you can use in order to keep track of what's going on with your cases. This happens to be regarding PI. So it's telling you generating medical chronologies or gaps in missing evidence, or basically trying to figure out what it is that in order for you to have a complete file to look at. Supio, EvenUp, Eve are three tools that are, all three of them can be used for as a case management software when it comes to personal injury. I think that's what they're all focused on right now. But you can have different case management softwares. Right now, other case management softwares also have some sort of AI attached to it. So whatever it is that you're currently using in your firm, regardless of the type of practice, one of the things I would highly recommend is reaching out to the company and saying, do you have a upgraded version that has AI technology? The good thing about AI technology when it comes to case management is to be able to generate chronologies or to be able to sort through material without having to print thousands and thousands of pages in order to figure out what it is that you're trying to find. And also, the tool that you use, one of the things I would factor in is how much human interaction do you think you're going to need? How much are they going to cost you? Basically, all these different all these companies, basically use platforms to make you be able to handle your cases faster and get access to the information that you need a lot faster. But all of them, pretty much, at least these three, just about do the same things. Next slide, please. So you now are going to move forward and you're going to file a complaint. And again, this goes to litigation. Eve allows you to draft legal complaints, basically using your tone. This one pretty fast, sorry. So you can feed it your past answers or past complaints that you filed, and it can basically use your tone and the way that you basically draft the complaint and create pleadings in the same manner that basically reflects the tone that you use. They need all the information. You give them all the information. You give the jurisdiction. You give them what the allegations are, and it basically drafts it for you based on that. So you can use Pod and ChatGPT as well. That's another way of doing that. You list the elements of, for example, negligent supervision in California, and say, these are the facts. What are the facts that I need in order to draft discovery? You can use the same thing in order to do discovery if you want to, and do the pleadings as well. By the way, we have a plaintiff practice. As I said, these are being used by defense firms as well. So to the extent that you do any kind of civil litigation, the tools that I'm mentioning right now are tools that you should be able to use in your practice as well. So I mentioned Esquire Tech before. This is one tool that we've been using at our firm going on about 4 years now, maybe 5. They got on this pretty early on, and the AI is making it faster and faster and faster. You can use it in order to draft basically all sorts of discovery, and also responding to discovery. So this is something that I would highly recommend looking into, whether it's Esquire Tech or Eve also helps you propound discovery. And basically all it does is take the case information that you have from your case management software into drafting a document, whether it is to do discovery or pleadings. It does that for you using your information. Again, have to point out that you have to make sure that if you are going to use this technology, you still need human oversight. You still have to make sure that everything is being used properly. Can you share clauses you put in a retainer agreement that indicate that you said? I don't have that in here, but if you send me an email, I'd be happy to send you basically the clause that you need to put in your retainer agreement, that you do use AI in managing your client's case. So would be happy to do that. Also, as a transactional entertainment lawyer with a substantial library of custom forms, what AI platforms are appropriate for me? So that's one of the things that I started out. Sorry, I'm trying to answer questions as they come in as well. My firm is primarily litigation driven, so I'm not familiar with transactional tools. Having said that, what I do know about ChatGPT and Claude is that you are able to use your previous library of forms and to be able to say, okay, this is what I've used in the past. This is information that you can use. Also, you can use Harvey AI because it actually has a Word plugin to do in Harvey AI, where you can actually say, okay, this is the draft something similar to this based on my custom forms. So Harvey AI would probably be the easiest one for you to use as an entertainment lawyer using your current library of custom forms. That's something I would look at. Harvey AI, as far as the confidentiality is concerned, you have to, you see, my issue with regards to one of the questions here is whether or not confidentiality is going to be an issue. I would err on the side of not putting in client confidential information on any kind of a software at this point. Anything that you put on there, it can be subpoenaed. So I would stay away from putting it out there. These are just using hypotheticals. And you can use hypotheticals, have it draft a document that you need, and then replace the name of the hypothetical with your client names just to keep the confidentiality the same. Given this acceleration of lawyers' work, what are courts doing and likely to do to speed up the process of cases and ultimately resolving them? Courts, the California courts are not as good with regards to technology. They are moving forward. The court leadership is actually very aware of the use of technology and what it can do. They're usually trail the lawyers by quite a bit. So I don't think right now it's going to make things faster, but given how fast AI technology is moving, I think the better the technology gets, the more you're going to have court interaction. Right now, they're trying to find a way to regulate it, so just to make sure that they are not it doesn't create issues. Any knowledge of legal insider, which is AI assisted in contract drafting, that unfortunately I have not had any kind of interaction with because we don't do transactional work. But one of the things I would highly recommend when it comes to any kind of technology, it's very easy to find, like, for example, you already know Legal Insider is a tool. I would download it, try it out, and see how it works for you and whether or not it answers the questions or makes you more efficient. The reason I'm saying that is because as a managing partner of a firm, that's one of the things that I put on myself. And if I don't have the time, I have somebody with a technological background do that homework and see if it helps them become more efficient. And if so, I'll take a look at it. There is a lot of overlap in the basically in different tools. So I would highly look into that. Isn't Copilot secure? Copilot is secure. That is one software that is secure. That's something that they're actually proud of. Wouldn't AI prompts and queries be protected by the work product privilege? It all depends. So for example, there are cases in which you're supposed to, you're not supposed to put the information out there, and it's a gray area whether it can break privilege or not. So that's one of the things I would err on the side of not risking it and putting it out there. But certain softwares, for example, CoCounsel by Westlaw actually has the ability to keep it within and not let it out. But still, I would be careful as far as the risks I take with regards to that. Okay, moving to the next slide, please. Speaking of CoCounsel, here are other tools that you can use in order to do analysis with regards to reviewing documents and so forth. CoCounsel has upload production sets. You can it can upload emails, PDFs, and then ask like a natural language and show every message linking the project like so-and-so and budget overruns, and then ChatGPT, it can basically run through it. ChatGPT also does that conceptually. If you put everything in there, it can sort through and give you information. As far as not putting privileged information out there, I would rather use CoCounsel than ChatGPT. And it's really, really good using these tools because the human eye has limitations as much as if you're going through thousands of pages, you may miss stuff and AI will not. So you can put in there, find me anywhere in the medical records where the client is complaining of pain or head injury, and it's going to find you exactly what you're looking for, as opposed to having to do guesswork. RAG is retrieval augmented generation. Basically, this is where the speed and the quality of the research comes in. It's faster. It's just isn't just fastering review, but it also gives you insight on basically things that are not possible to find with the human eye. This is what AI can do. It's basically converting data into an efficient way of doing research, and for you to be able to read it. It creates a map of the data that you've indexed, basically. And then Harvey AI is another tool that you can use when you're trying to go through documents. So if you guys remember, I'm now dating myself. There were jobs when we came out of law school that were just doc review and discovery review. And these are the tools that can help you go through thousands and thousands of pages and finding exactly what it is that you're looking for. It's great for civil litigation. It's also good for family law cases and other types of law where you have voluminous amount of information and you need to digest all that information in order to move forward with your case or representing your clients. Next slide, please. So I wanted to show you what we did internally. So when I realized that technology and AI is moving as fast as it is, one of the things that I asked us to put together a team of folks who are basically focused on technology. And these are not just tech savvy folks, but these are folks that actually work in the office and are part of our practice, but they also have an interest in technology. So this is something this is our RAG, basically, our RAG software, our RAG video, to show how we are using it internally by creating a software. And what you see is just the front page of it. It is getting the information off our case management software and bringing it in, and basically you can use natural language to ask questions once it has access to your cases. So if you can push play, please, on this. So if you take a look at it, you're going to put in case number 25160. This is not a real case, by the way. So you start a conversation. So it's on case number 25160. I want you to get me information. And then it says, summarize this case for me. So what it does is it goes into our database and gets you information on a case. It tells you when it was settled, how much it was settled. Again, this is not a real case, so don't worry about that part of it, but it's just, it gives you all the information you need in order for you to be able to do that. And then it says, if it was settled. So in order to avoid the privilege issues, we created our own AI technology within the firm. So it doesn't have to get information from outside of the firm, and everything is in here. We actually had a case where we had 1,700 clients. We put this together in order to put together victim impact statements for 1,700 clients. So what this software, or what we put together does, it goes and gets information from our own sources on these clients and drafts a specific, basically victim impact statement for our clients. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, let me answer some questions. Is there a platform that can scan and organize my internal files without opening up outside parties? This is exactly the platform that I just showed you. This is something that we used internally in order to do that. There's also a platform called Azure, A-Z as in zebra, U-R-E, that can help you organize your internal files and without opening up to outside parties. It's part of Microsoft's and gets the information from Microsoft Cloud. Are there apps that can ingest large numbers of lengthy precedents and then assist in drafting contracts? Seems similar to some of the litigation functions you're describing. My gut is that there is. Let me check my notes here. I don't have anything on transactional drafting contracts, but Jay, what I would say is this. If I can feed AI right now and say, here are all the documents, draft me a complaint, I'm positive that something like Claude will be able to properly do exactly what you're suggesting and what you're asking. So I would try it with Claude and see if that works for you. And I'd be curious if it does work for you, drop me an email, let me know. It'd be interesting to know if it does, but I would try Claude in order to do that. Then to follow the previous question, please elaborate on how the risk of subpoenas for client data uploaded to AI platforms might intersect with attorney work product if such data reveals one's analysis, evaluations, and so forth. That this is exactly what I mentioned earlier. This is a gray area right now, and we don't know how the courts are going to react with regards to confidential information and privileged information. So until there is, and my rule of thumb is until there is something that tells me exactly how the courts are going to view it, I would wait and see how it works out. But right now, I would not take that risk. Next question. Has anyone used Copilot to draft contracts? We haven't, we don't draft contracts, but it is something that you can use to draft contracts from what I understand. You can use it, you can use ChatGPT 5 in order to draft contracts as well. A Copilot uses ChatGPT 5. Law Insider claims to do what Jay is asking about above contract drafting. There you go. But I do know Claude is something that you can also use as well. One of the things that you'd find very interesting is depositions and how far we've come with regards to depositions. There's technology now that you can actually feed existing depositions for, let's say, an ex, you're deposing somebody and there are previous depositions of that person. You can feed that the previous depositions and find contradictions in it so that it actually helps you when you are deposing somebody. So you can map the issues. You can basically use AI to figure out what questions you're going to ask. There are actually, you can use them in order to find what's the next question when the answer comes in. So this is what you can do in real time when it comes to depositions. Next slide, please. So actually, sorry, let's go back to the previous slide. I wanted to give you guys some, there is Transcript Genius by Steno. That basically distills your testimony overnight. Within hours of a remote or in-person deposition, the AI sends you a summary of your deposition. So that's something that you can use. You can use Claude and ChatGPT if you're able to feed them previous transcripts in order to ask questions, and also CoCounsel, which is a Thomson Reuters Westlaw product, can also draft you an outline of what questions you can ask during a deposition. This is particularly very interesting for young attorneys who are starting out and they want to learn how to take a deposition. I would still caution having somebody with experience with that person, but we can basically use that in order to go do that. Next. So we're going to look at the different types of for motion practice and writing, what you can use for research. There's Lexis AI, there's CoCounsel, Harvey AI embeds Word into inline search. Even Up can extract data from medical records and flagging missing documents. ClearBrief, which is very good. It verifies your opponent's factual assertions and also whether the cases that they've cited to are good cases and strong precedent. So this is just to give you guys some idea for anybody who does motion practice. Lexis AI, again, CoCounsel, Harvey AI using Word, and also Even Up and ClearBrief are some of the tools you can use for motion practice and making things a little more efficient. Drafting in opposition to an MSJ or drafting an MSJ can be a lot faster than what it used to be using AI. Next. So you can even use AI for mediation. You're going to draft basically for your mediation, you want to draft documents in order for a mediator to take a look at it. You can upload medical records, police reports, something to calculate damages. Basically, what you're doing is you're trying to give the mediator the most efficient way of finding out what your case is worth and why you're in the right. Mediation is not necessarily going to be something that's going to be useful for those who are doing transactional work, but you can also use the mediation tools in family law cases when you're giving the information and you want to summarize it for a mediator when you're going to mediation. Next, so this is something that's really fun for trial prep and courtroom support. You've seen this on shows where they use AI in order to do jury selection and doing focus groups. Right now, you can use AI to do focus groups. It can be very, very both beneficial in terms of strategy with regards to your trials, but also what kind of arguments, how you can argue your cases. I've put in a couple of basically mock trials and focus groups that are AI driven here that you can use. It kind of, again, instead of guessing what a jury would do, it creates a potential jury pool for you to make those decisions and go forward. Next slide. So this is something that we used actually in a case that we were in trial in San Antonio. And after the trial was over, we actually put in all of the information with regards to a case and tried to determine how, based on a judge's previous rulings, how the judge would be likely to rule based on the transcripts of the trial, judges' propensities and previous rulings and rulings throughout the case, and kind of get an idea of where you think your judge is going to be leaning. That's something that you can do using AI and just using ChatGPT in order to do that. But it is actually something that I would, it's very fun to play with, and you'll be surprised how close to reality it is. Post-trial and appeal. Next slide, please. So co-counsel extracts appealable issues. You feed the transcripts, the trial transcripts and exhibits and everything, and the objections, the rulings, and it tells you, gives you a list of where there are potential appealable issues. Peer brief, basically, it's good to, you can use it to draft appellate briefs, and it's very helpful. You can scan the factual statements and verify it against the transcripts that you have and the clerk's record. And again, Harvey AI is something that's a legal tool that I would highly take a look at, both as far as transactional as well as potential appeals are concerned. And this is something that I would do. Do you know what data is used to train jury simulate? I think the information that they are getting for jury, the question is, do you know what data is used to train the jury simulation apps? I believe that the information that they use is based on demographics that you're going to enter in there, and tell them what kind of like jury you're going to have, what the jurisdiction is, where the area is, based on past trials and demographics of that area. That's basically what they feed it, and it's pretty much what you're going to use for a focus group anyway. So they're going to use whatever they can get publicly on a give demographics of a specific area and the potential jury pool you're going to have, and you're going to feed the information that you want in order you believe are going to be the facts of your case. The easiest way to look at it, Jay, is if you're going to do a focus group, you're going to look for jurors of a specific demographic in a specific area. That is pretty much what the information is that you're going to give the AI tool in order to determine the answer that you're looking for. Next slide, please. So this is really important. And the reason I'm saying really important is because we always we say, okay, we're going to implement AI, but how are we going to make sure that something actually happens and we don't let go halfway through? This is another slide I would take a picture of. I think it's really helpful for anybody who wants to do that, to do these different steps. You need somebody who's your AI champion, basically to pick pilots, what you're going to look at the metrics, as somebody in a leadership position that folks will listen to and believe that they have to follow what they say. Then I would run a 90-day quick win pilot, track it and try to see what the errors are, how people are responding to it, what are the feedback on it, what it is that they can basically they are buying into, what works and what doesn't work, basically. And during that process, you're going to tweak things and make things better so that you're going to be able to move to the next step and not stall and just keep spinning your wheels, basically. And then the third one is to what platform you're going to use before you scale. The platform you use should be based on your type of firm and what kind of information you have, how much data you have, what kind of practice you have. So I gave you some ideas as to what platform to use, but try to use platforms that actually do have they are technologically advanced and they will play well with other platforms. That's going to be the name of the game in the future. Next slide, please. I wish the voice would have come out for this. So I put this in here. It says at the end of the day, nobody's going to, the best part of the plan is that nobody's going to stop me. At the end of the day, if you use technology and the products that are out there and the new products that come out, and you stay on top of things, and you are basically along with the times, you're going to be able to not just survive but conquer, because there's still going to be folks out there who are not going to do this. There are going to be folks out there who are going to say, well, this is not for me, or it's not happening. I say this to my kids and I say this to the younger generation. basically AI is to today's world what the World Wide Web was to my generation. So I would basically use that in order to move forward, and that's the way I look at it. Is what it's going to do in the future. Can you recommend any AI platforms that will work well for estate planning and probate? Wow. A question from my past, because I used to do estate planning and probate. I haven't looked at anything out there that does it recently, because I haven't done any kind of estate planning for years. But if you drop me an email, I promise that I will look for the best one out there, or the most advanced one out there, and I'll send you a reply with whatever's platform is available for probate and estate planning. My email address is first initial last name, so D as in David, A as in Apple, B as in boy, IR at actslaw.com. So dabir@axlaw.com. Any recommendations for employment law practice? I have, Tracy, I have a number of employment law colleagues that I work with. And a lot of these, some of these softwares do actually work well with employment law as well, because it's general civil litigation. But again, if you send me an email, I'll be happy to ask some of my employment law colleagues and get you the answer to that question as well. It would be my pleasure.
Alrighty, it looks like this concludes today's presentation. Thank you so much, Danny, for your time, and thank you so much to our audience. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.